Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 2nd of February 2025. Today's video is the Prophet of Terror. Before we start, I want to get this out of the way. This company, by the way, is not giving me any money. I'm not doing advertisement for them, but this is just to show that if we're going to speak about a person who was killed by the follower of the Prophet of the Most High. So if this person had one of these, and here you can fit any barrel you want, because I don't want the video to be taken. This can fit all kind of tools that can do much damage, and this person would have been probably alive today if he had one of these, or more than one. You should. So, the Prophet of Terror, may the blessing of Allah be upon him. Okay, for those who don't know, there is a young man, well, he's not like a teenager, he's 38 years old. His name is Sulwan Momika, and he was murdered in Sweden. He is an atheist. Originally he is from Iraq. He is from a Catholic background. Nonetheless, he became an atheist. The thing is, so many people become atheists, and they leave the teaching of the founder of this nonsense that he came to us 1400 years ago. I don't like to mention his name. He doesn't deserve to be mentioned, to tell you the truth. And let's be honest and speak bluntly today. This man, about 2 years ago, I made a video on him because he burned the unholy book that the Prophet of Allah brought to us 1400 years ago. And you see, so many people burned that book. They burn it once and that's it. However, this young man, he burned that book few times, and he burned it on the holy day, one occasion that it is important for Muslims, in front of the mosque in Sweden. And that stirred anger. And this is probably what he wants. There must be a reason for that, because those who burn the Quran, they burn it once to make a statement that this book is nonsense, and he inflicted so much pain on many people for so long. Nonetheless, this young man burned it so many times. Actually, one time he put a pig waste on that book. I mean, it doesn't get any dirtier, but anyway, he did that. Now let's be, there's no reservation here, and I'm going to speak about that. This young man, he migrated to Sweden, and he burned that unholy book, and somehow Sweden was offering him protection. He had guards. At certain point, and I don't know why, probably, all governments, they have corrupt people in the government. They accept bribes. They accept money. And if you give them enough money, they will change the law to your favor. I'm not saying that a Swedish representative took money. I'm not saying that, but it could have happened. Okay? And I'm going to say why. At certain point, Sweden stopped protecting this young man, and they told him, you are on your own. So he tried to go to migrate to Norway, and Norway said no. They don't want the confrontation. And that is the problem. Many people, they don't want the confrontation because they don't want a headache. Okay? And that portrayed fear. And the Prophet of Allah, may the blessing of Allah be upon his bas, BASS. BASS. Huh? Let's be respectful. Uh, the Prophet of Allah. Anyway, so he returned to Sweden and he became like an average citizen. There is no protection. And one of these follower of the Prophet of Allah, who have the same values and the same peace in his mind and heart, in his head, and the same forgiveness like the Prophet of Allah, he went and he shot him dead in his apartment. He knocked on the door and he shot him dead. That's why I was showing this holster in the beginning, because unfortunately most Europe, with the exception of Switzerland, maybe allow a little bit of carrying weapons at home. So they knock on the door and they shoot him dead. Should he had the right to defend himself, like here in America, most of the states of the United States, you have the right to wear one of these and carry more than one gun if you want. You have a better chance of survival. And these people who are trying to kill you, when they know that you are equipped with more violence than them, they will think twice. But in his case, they didn't have to think. They knocked on the door, pa, 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 he's gone, he's dead. In a close range. Open the door, pa, gone. And this young man, he must have, you see, he's 38 years old. He is from Iraq. So he was a child when the American forces went to attack Iraq, and then later left. And 2011, that's 14 years ago, he was 24 at this time, young man. You have to come to the conclusion they must have done something so bad, either to him or to his family members or to the whole family, including him. And these people are known to rape women. The Prophet of Allah, may the blessing of Allah be upon him, they say he married the young lady, the Jewish young lady Safiya bint Huyay, after he slaughtered all of her tribe, her father, brother, and her newly wed husband, in one night, and in the same night he violated her. And the Muslim, they explain that, they say, oh, she fell in love with him. And even if if your IQ in the single digit, you see even animals, stupid animals, who they don't have any IQ at all. If I see my pride, whether it's whatever group of animals, murdered, none of the female will be in heat to let that animal that destroyed all of her tribe, or all of her pride, or whatever, school or whatever, come and violate her. She will run away from him. But they tell you, this young lady, whom she was one of the most respected lady in her tribe, because her father was a very wealthy man, she loved this gangster. She opened herself to him. The same day. But also in the same story, they tell you that she was crying so furiously as she was walking. They are taking her to bring her to the Prophet of Allah, walking through the dead bodies of her tribe, seeing them in the blood still fresh. She's crying. And then the moment she arrives to his tent, she's happy and she takes her clothes off and let's do it. So they do these things. So I am not sure, but they could have done something like that in front of him, to his mother, to his sister-in-law, to somebody. And that's why he was very, very angry. He didn't burn the Quran once. He didn't speak once. I speak, but... And I don't think burning the Quran will do any good. But anyway, many people speak. But this man had certain anguish. He was not looking for fame. He was looking to bring out the truth about this nonsense and what these people do to people like him in his country, and now he's a foreigner. And by the way, his family in Iraq disowned him before his murder, and the reason is, I don't think they disowned him, but they were afraid that this gang will return to their home and do something else with the daughter, with his sister, with his mother. So to avoid that, they disowned him. Unfortunately, some people think it's good to give in a little and let these people have it their way so that we don't create problems. That was the mistake that Sweden have done. Because Sweden, when they saw the pressure so much coming from the Muslim in Sweden, they gave in. They told him, enough, we are not protecting you anymore, leave. When he tried to leave to Norway, they said no, meaning also they're afraid. To be afraid with these people, it means you're bending the knee. That's not an answer. Okay? I think if you ask any historian, Roman or Greek historian or any historian, if he had known what will happen from Islam after it started to spread, all of these empire back then, they would have put all of their differences aside, unite and go to the Arabian Peninsula and exterminate all these people, all this gang, until none of them left, so that we don't have to deal with that anymore. But nobody knew that. And they kept creeping here and there. I'm going to put you the hadith and the Quranic verses. The Prophet of Allah said, I was made victorious by terror 1 month ahead, because they used to travel on foot. So imagine how many miles you walk in one day. In 30 days, if people hear that he is coming after 30 days, they will go crazy, because they know that hell is about to be unleashed. So he was terrorizing them. He was the prophet of terror. Okay? He was saying, my spear, like he was earning his living through his spear. He used to get 20% of the booties. And to make it simpler, let's say they invade a town near you, and the booty is equal to $1 million. And let's say he had 800 gangster warrior. They claimed $1 million. He will take 200,000. $200,000 of the million. 200,000 for him. And each warrior will get 1,000. So that was a profitable business for him. And also for the warriors, because they used to be nobody. Most of them. And some joined because they didn't want their family to be subjected to his terror. Another hadith is, I was commanded, of course, by the Allah himself, to fight all people, all without exception, until they profess that there is no God but Allah, and I am his boy, the Prophet of the Allah. So people were afraid. Should we continue in that manner? Should we repeat the same mistake that it happened 1400 years ago and let these gangsters take over again? We will all be losers. I know that President Trump here in America, he is aware that some of these gangs came through the borders, whether from Canada coming to south to America or north coming from Mexico. And he is on it. I tell you, that might sound like harsh, but there is no other way. The Swedish government, all European countries, without exception, all, you have to spy on the mosque and what these people are doing. And if you tell me this is unethical, look what is happening. All these mosques should be under surveillance. All of them. And anybody, any imam, any religious leader start to go out of line, prepare for something like, because I am very sure this was discussed somewhere. Okay? There are 5 people involved. These 5 people should be investigated, not just of the crime, which mosque they go, what are their family doing, what are they involved in, and everybody has to be questioned. And if any who is trying to propagate for this nonsense called whatever you want to call it, that came to us 1400 years ago, anyone who is involved in that, send him back to his hellhole where he came from. He or she came running away from this violence, coming to Europe to re-establish that violence, running away from Islam to bring Islam to peaceful countries. No thank you. No thank you. And don't cower, because these people, that's their mission, to make you scared, to make you afraid. And I really think, I know, not just think, I know that Silwan Momika, this young man, he was aware that he will be killed. You cannot give in, because this is what they are looking for. I saw one guy who, he seems to be like American Caucasian, became a Muslim. I don't know what he found in Islam, but anyway, and he was saying, they provoked us. He provoked us. He provoked the Muslim. What do you mean? Even if I provoke somebody, or if you provoke me, does that mean I should pull my gun out and shoot you, kill you? Who gives me that right? if you provoke me, if you are in my home, I'll ask you to leave. If I'm in your home, I'm leaving. That's what adults do. But kids, I know they get provoked. And this is the situation with these people. They are actually like little kids. But you can't demand that people submit to your desire and stay like a little kid for eternity, forever. No. That kid has to grow up, and if you don't grow up, you face the consequences. Not just an individual, but the family, the mosque, the whole area. All the people that they go to this mosque should be investigated to allow such thing to happen. You cannot be wishy-washy with these people. You really have to be very stern. It is very unfortunate. I'm sorry. It's very unfortunate always when I speak about things that it's not inspiring. I mean, many people would like to hear a song, a relaxing song or something good. But yeah, I know. I'm not coming with an inspiring message. I'm sorry. But this is reality. Thank you very much. We hope to hear from you.